I'm Andy Parkin, Managing Director of the Multi-Award Winning Speed Screed. I'm here today to talk about Self Levelling Screed Cost. And when we're talking about that, I sort of think of it in two terms. It could be the calcium sulfate, the pumped screed, the flow screed that's going to go in at sort of 50 mil. And then you've also got the self-leveling, as some people will call it, the smoothing compounds that's just going to be going in at 3 and 5 mil. So there's a couple of different products there, I would say. People often ask about prices, and sometimes it's difficult to give ballpark figures. We don't want to appear if we give a price and then it comes back incorrect. But there are a number of factors, and I'll first of all really talk about the flowing screed, because there's a lot more commercial factors that affect the price on the flow screed, the pump screed, that's going to go in a little bit thicker, at around 50 mil. So the location of the project and where the plant is are going to affect the cost there. So it's going to arrive in a truck mixer. So depending how far the project is from the plant will determine how far the truck mixer's got to travel, and obviously how far it is going to be. The further it is, the greater the cost. If it's 25 radials away, you can see that the truck's going to be away from the plant for much longer. If it's a radial away, it's going to be a quick turnaround. The truck's going to be able to be doing the next delivery. So that's a factor. The material costs for the screed manufacturer are going to be a factor in this as well, because they're buying in either from themselves or from other suppliers the sand that's required. Now, it needs to be a particular grading and a particular quality for it to go in the flow screed. So if it's local, if they're able to obtain it locally, that's great. If not, if they're having to go 50, 60, 70 miles away, the transportation costs are going to be much greater. The binder that also goes into the mix as well, so that's, instead of the cement, it's the anhydrite binder in the flow screed. So that's milled and produced by two manufacturers in the main in the UK. So depending where the plant is in relation to those manufacturers, then the cost of the material will vary again. So that affects the price of the flow screed when it's actually supplied direct to site. So another big factor is going to be how big is the project. So with the flowing screed, you can do anything really up to 15, even 2,000 square meters a day. So when you divide in a fixed cost, which is the labour, transportation costs to get to site, etc., you can see that the prices are going to be far less per square metre. If you was doing, say, 100 square metres, which is a typical house size, you can see that the cost is going to go up because there's more of the fixed cost divided into a smaller area. So to give you an idea, and we're working on a 50 mil thickness, because if you was to go to 75, you're putting in something like 50% more materials. So 50% more materials, you can see the cost is going to go up. So based on 50 mil, you're looking at the larger area is going to give you the lower cost. So you're looking at a ballpark figure of around about £10 per square metre. If you was to go to the smaller area, which was the 100 in this example, that would be approximately £16 per square metre. If you was to go even smaller, so you was doing a 40, 50 square metre, that's going to involve a truck turning out with the material, but it won't be full to capacity. So there would be what they call a part load charge, because the cost of getting the material there is going to be pretty much fixed. So if you're not delivering a full load, then there is a part load surcharge on that. So then you'd be looking at, perhaps something like 25, 26, 27 pounds a square metre for something of that kind of size. So I hope this has been useful. I hope it gives you an idea to see whether it's something you can use on your project. If you need something more accurate, please just let us know, or if you've got any further questions, just drop me a line. Thank you.